We are live.
Woo!
Episode 2.
Episode dos. Numero dos.
12 hours of boom with us today.
Woo, Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
And
well, let's go. We're going to do Sons of Erin, Irish whiskey, Bart. And what are we going to do?
we're going to test it. High energy.
We're going to test it.
Now, who's our special guest live in-house?
Go ahead and introduce yourself, Dave.
Dave Dvorak with Flint Hills Wine and Spirits in
Woo.
Andover.
Andover, Flint Hills Wine and Spirits.
Dave hosted the first Scotch tastings.
And the second. And the third.
Yes.
Boom.
Was there 4?
I don't think so. We broke up after that.
Was it? Well, we
Yes.
we didn't break up.
We were doing great.
We started doing reviews.
Right. We didn't break up, but we had a little whiskey group going for a while.
Yeah. Now, Dave also he was searching through his shop, and he found
What?
a 20-gallon barrel
Woo,
of
25.
Pappy Van Winkle.
25-gallon barrel Pappy. That's like from the Lost
Well,
Cast.
and he brought his own tap.
I forgot my Dremel.
We're gonna
no
drill into. We're gonna tap into there.
Oh, he doesn't have his drum.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
We'll have
So
to
we
let it
can't
age.
have that.
We'll
That
have to
looks
let
like
it age some more.
30-year-old Pappy back there. How did you get a hold of that? So here's some of the cool parts. What had happened, the whole genesis that even takes us down the road where we're at now is I'm working out. I'm sure you wanted to hear that part of the story. All right. And I'm listening. The radio's on. Up comes a commercial from you. And you're talking about you do wine tastings. Do you still do wine tastings?
Yes.
All right. You were saying you've done like rum tastings even. Then you mentioned whiskey, and I was like, what? Somebody does a whiskey taste? Flint Hills does a whiskey tasting deal? I checked with several buddies. I'm like, hey, you want to go in? We get in. I call. Yeah, sure. We set it up. Boom. We had it. I remember you bought.
I'm gonna have you scoot that way just a
Want me
little
to
bit.
scoot? I'm encroaching
you're already
on Dave.
encroaching, and you got more room that way
I'm
anyway.
big. Yeah,
And
I do.
you
Look at
already
that.
leaned in a couple
I
of
like
times.
Dave. I wanted to get close to him.
Bart does it. He's
Yeah, I'm a
encroacher.
leaner. I'm an encroacher. I'll come in and be like, this is Dave. Dave's right here visiting.
It's
And
like
people are like,
clown.
what? Yeah. They're like, where's Dave at? Where's he at? We don't see him. Yeah, because I was encroaching. So you ran the first tastings, and I've always mentioned you brought a different bottle from several different regions on our first tasting.
I remember it was different regions, about 8 bottles.
Yes, 8 bottles, beautiful. And at the very first one of the Islay you had was an Ardbeg 10, and it was too much for me.
You're always mixing it up. I thought it was the Lagavulin.
Nope.
Do you remember? I don't know if you
It
remember.
was not the
Lagavulin
Lager.
was another. Yeah.
Right, but it was
Yeah.
an Ardbeg 10 because it was really
Sometimes you say
ashy.
Lefroy. Sometimes you say Lagavulin. Sometimes you
I
say
don't.
Ardbeg.
It was an Ardbeg 10. I'm never wrong.
I'll tell you, whichever one it was, I remember too. I
It
was
was
like, wow,
smoky.
I do not like that.
Right. Right. Matter of fact, you did have a Talisker there, and I like the Talisker, and I like the Kragan more.
And their tastes evolved, and pretty soon they're asking for Color
Yes, that's right. We're all over it.
Well, I don't know. Are you planning on hanging around for a little bit? You got to go right when the show's over?
And
I
it's-
can hang around.
all right.
Because we probably got a couple that you can try now that you probably haven't had.
Yeah, would be good.
We might do that. Yes, we'll do that. We'll do that. Now, I don't know. So tell us a little bit about what you brought here today.
Well, I'm going to interrupt him real
hold
quick
on.
because
Okay.
we got a comment.
Oh, comment.
Victor Torres says hello from Puerto Rico.
Hey, my wife's in Puerto Rico.
Your wife is there right now.
Yes, Victor, tell me how much trouble I'm in because she went there with the kids for like a family reunion deal. I said, I ain't coming.
Maybe see, you're already leaning over.
I'm leaning, I'm encroaching, but yeah,
Maybe she's at Victor's house.
No, she's down in, she went to Ponce, which is an arid part of Puerto Rico. Yes. All right, so,
What do you got,
I'm
Dave?
glad
Sorry,
you're in Puerto Rico.
I
Puerto
interrupted
Rico's
you with
awesome.
the comment.
She lives in
Okay.
Cayenne, or her family lives in Cayenne. Sorry.
Well,
First
welcome.
of all, you're welcome. We always mention I have a Puerto Rican wife because I think it makes me more
Worldly.
worldly. Sorry. There you go. Dave's looking at me like, what is going on here? First he encroaches, now he talks. What, are we losing sound?
No, just my power cable come unhooked. I'll put that back in
All right,
there
all right.
just in case.
All right, so focus is back on Dave, back on the whiskey.
Yes.
Well, the
I was
company that brings us Sons of Erin is called Restless Spirits. They're out of Kansas City, Missouri. This is one of their keg samples.
Got it.
It's empty. They brought it to me empty, but
Just kind of a prop.
yeah.
They used
so
it
that
and
was
gave you the prop.
But I'm a sucker for a salesman, so when they come in, they know I'll buy everything they got.
That's right.
They make 3 items, and they finish one, and the 4 are Duffy's Rum Vodka, Builder's Gin, and Stonebreaker Irish American blended whiskey. The fourth one they make or finish is this. They bring it in by container from Dundalk Distillery in Ireland.
Okay.
They finish it in casks here.
So it finishes in an American cask,
And then the
virgin
bottom.
oak. They do it in virgin oak cask? Wow.
We have their white dog. I bet you that's what I bought. They do a white dog.
Is it
That's
spelled
unaged.
Poitin?
Yeah, Poitin. That's it.
Poitin.
Poitin.
That's
I bought it.
American
We haven't
whiskey.
tasted it yet, but I bought a small bottle of that from Plaza Wine and
Really?
Spirits when I was out there.
Because
And I
that's
thought it was odd. They were like, it's a distilling company out of Kansas City, but they get it's basically Irish whiskey they bring in and they age it and everything. I remember that.
Yeah.
didn't you tell me they also encourage you to age it yourself or something? You can get a kit.
Well, you can. There's a lot of that going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's why
We have not done that. We want to do that.
a lot of people are doing white dogs, Buffalo Trace. There's a couple others, maybe Jefferson. No, not Jefferson's. Who else is doing? There's a couple of white dogs out there, and they're encouraging people to buy cask and kind of age it themselves.
Heaven Hill does one through a label, and Beam did one for a bit. Some other names I can't remember.
Yeah.
My dream would be to do that and keep it in the back of my truck all summer and call it the F-250.
Oh, wow.
Bam.
There you go.
Yeah. It's like when they put stuff on the ships. Let
Yeah.
it travel.
Yeah.
The Jefferson Ocean.
Jefferson's
Yeah.
Ocean.
They got the Jefferson Ocean. So it says Irish folklore suggests that Erin, the nickname for Ireland. Didn't know that. So Erin.
Okay. Now this is, I see, bottled at 40% ABV. I have coined 324.
And I've coined 323.
Now 324 is going to go out to our Patreon supporters. We'll do a separate drawing for them.
Right.
This giveaway during this show, what Dave brought with him, a
Special.
special giveaway for you guys watching, is going to be this actual wood tap.
We're going to sign it, and Dave's going to sign it.
That's right.
So,
So we'll host a little trivia challenge. Will come up later, and whoever answers comments first gets the wooden tap.
I need a knife. My fingernails aren't
Yeah.
doing it. I bet
So
you
just
know.
twist it.
You
You
got
can just twist it.
That's what I'm doing, and it's just turning.
Oh.
See?
There it
It's
goes.
all nasty. I'm doing a bad job of opening it. It's making a rattling noise. I know Dave's got a knife on. He was
Oh.
reaching for it.
It was there.
He was reaching for a blade. I saw it. I was like, what's he doing? There we go. I didn't want to
Use your-
bust the cork. Look
Use
at
your
that.
manly grip.
But yeah, but it came out all dirty.
Use
Look at
the
that.
man grip.
Man grip. Thank. What do you mean by that? Sounded hostile. All right, so we're pouring in.
Sorry, I haven't even been looking at comments yet. If I get a chance here, we'll watch. If you've got a question or something, redo it. I'll try to pay attention here.
Some more. I gave Bruno too much there.
Bart does that. He pours.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Well,
Like,
there has
2
been
ounces.
complaints that Scott measures out from like a teaspoon. Here you go. Here you go. Look at that. That makes the bottle look good. My fingernails wouldn't cut that.
It's like he's wearing a wig.
It does.
So this is
Pigtails.
an Irish white dog that's imported and then aged in Kansas City.
It's a finished Irish whiskey from the Teeling. I'm not supposed to say that.
Oh,
From
sorry.
Dundalk
No.
Distillery,
Dundalk
Dundalk.
Distillery.
and
Okay.
it was from the private reserves. So the distiller in Kansas City, Benet Shannon, selected these barrels, imported them, and finished them on oak.
Okay. So they
there's
are aged in Ireland, but then they get a finish.
well aged.
Well aged. Okay.
Oh.
Then they get an extra finish in a
They-
virgin oak.
Advertise it as aged reserves.
Okay. Beautiful.
I got a nice, like a lemon grassiness and vanilla.
Right. Yeah, I definitely get a lemon hint. I get a strong. I got a little bit. I took too much in. Got a little bit of that alcohol burn. What do you get on it, Dave? You get anything on the nose?
Yeah, I smelled the spirit.
Right.
Sure, the
Yeah,
alcohol.
I definitely get the spirit. But I do get a hint of that citrus, almost like a lemon zest. By the way, ask him,
46%. I
how's
think I
our
said
audio?
45.
Because we had to switch off from our mic that was making noise.
Our mic was getting a little bit of a tinnitus in it.
Yeah, it was making this crazy noise. So we switched to the in mic.
Or just the internal mic on
Right.
the
So
laptop. Hopefully it's okay.
how's that sounding? And I know that's why we had a dead mic there at the beginning of our first show. So if those comments come in. So anything else? I get that lemongrass, but you're right. A lot of spirit I get a lot of the alcohol spirit.
I just got that finish, whatever. I'm going to try to guess what it was. It just came through past that lemongrass for the first time. And I don't know. I haven't looked at this. And Dave, you need a coin. These work great.
Yep, as like a topper.
Yep, and helps you
If
capture
you
the
want to,
nose.
yeah, or if you're shaking it, keeps from coming out.
And that one's yours. You can
I
keep
thought I
it.
got
Keep
Old
it.
Spice, but that was my cologne.
Oh.
Oh, there you go. Got like lemon cookie.
Oh, I see.
Lemon cookie.
That makes a difference.
Yeah.
I'm getting whatever it is down there deep down. It's
Deep.
very faint. Trying to capture it again.
Some of that's the wood, but I definitely get
Yeah.
like a lemon meringue cookie. Now, how much does this go for?
$48.99.
$48.99.
We're a little higher in Andover than some stores. It could be 44,
Gotcha.
but not many other people have it. That's why.
Got it. It's got a creamy finish. I'm going to come from the back forward. I get a nice mouthfeel, like a velvety mouthfeel with that creamy finish. I'm going to have to come back to give you what's on the forefront. What do you have?
I'm still trying to figure out what it is. I'm getting it. I'm just trying to get enough of a whiff for it to register on my senses. What it is past that lemongrass, past that oaky, light vanilla citrus.
You know, on the forefront, as I puzzle through, there's a little bit of spirit burn, but then I get into, it's kind of like I get a hint of like a sugar cookie, almost like the sweetness of a sugar cookie, the dryness, maybe a little bit of powdered sugar even. And then I get the vanilla near the end, and again, the creaminess.
Whatever that finish is coming through on the palate too. I'm going to have to take a couple more sips. It's coming in. Now, Irish whiskeys, keep in mind, generally are a little lighter, a little smoother because of the triple distillation.
Roger that.
It's very creamy, very vanilla. Amy's
There's some
husband
vanilla going on.
Amy's husband is watching, and he has to drink every time we say
Oaky.
oakiness.
There's some oakiness. Yeah, anytime I'll be like, I get oakiness, but I do not get a lot of oakiness here.
Not much oakiness.
If I say not a lot of oakiness, does he still have to drink?
Yeah, just oakiness.
So it's not when I say there's a lot of oakiness, it's only when I say, it's anytime I say oakiness.
Oakiness. If you say
Oakiness
oakiness,
is
he
it.
has to drink.
Say oakiness. Contribute to
I don't
him.
want to contribute.
Oh, he's not contributing. Look at that. He was reasonable. I'm like, oh, you won't say oakiness. Dave Dvorak will not say oakiness.
An Okie came in the store the other day.
Ah,
Got an
yeah,
Oakiness
an
off the head.
Okie. There you
An
go.
oakie from Muskogee.
Muskogee, yeah. So on this one, though, Scott, you're right. I do not get oakiness.
No.
I think that's 22.
If any, very little.
Okay. Very little
nice
what?
Oakiness.
Thank you.
The nice vanilla, citrusy that really accompanies a lot of Irish whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes when I get a sherry cask finished Irish whiskey, it's kind of more of a rose petal, kind of a tropical type. The sherry finish on the Irish whiskeys does something a little bit different. I'm not getting that with this.
No. When the salesman came by, he came by at 9:30 a.m. It's a tough job.
Yeah.
But he ran me through the other spirits first, and my palate was a little numbed. Then we tried this, and I remember picking up orange and cocoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's some of that citrusy,
I like that.
but I don't taste it first off.
Almost like a little nuttiness, which I don't get with a lot of Irish. I don't know if I've gotten on an Irish before.
Much better now.
Yeah. Some water.
I had a drop of water. You want a drop of water?
Yes.
Give me a drop of water, but I poured a little bit less than an ounce. So I got to pour just a little bit more.
You were mumbling. I about knocked the water over.
That happened to me. It's guaranteed to happen during the live show. We're going to have a mishap.
Here's a good question. What's the age statement? Do they have one? It's not on the front.
They do not. They do not have one on the front or the back.
On the website, I believe I saw 4 years.
Really? 4 years.
Okay.
I believe I saw that on one of their websites.
It does not taste that young. I don't think.
A little bit. With the spirit
I mean-
forwardness, I get a little bit of the youth.
It doesn't taste
I spilled some.
well aged,
No.
but it doesn't taste. I wouldn't have guessed it was that young.
Hmm.
I would have thought maybe 7, 8 years.
This is a food quig.
That's
I
the-
don't have it down yet. It's like his elbow pins in somehow. We've got a fan. We had a meta experience. So there was a fan from Canada, taxi driver. He was doing his own live show as he watched our show live. This was like a couple months ago. So he's experiencing our show as he records himself, and people are watching his show, which is watching our show. Yeah, very meta. Food Quake is his name. Yeah, and he has this thing when he's like rotating his dram. I call it a full body motion, but honestly, it's like his shoulders on a gimbal.
You guys have a favorite YouTube celebrity from Scotland? What's his name?
Ralphie?
Yeah,
Ralph,
we were talking
yeah.
about him.
Yep.
Is he watching?
Ralphie does
No.
not watch too much.
No.
No, Ralphie's like the
Ralphie's on his
biggest
own
guy. Yeah,
out there.
Ralphie's
I was
like,
going to say hello.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he'll tune in on the, because this will stay recorded. This goes into like a recorded mode. So maybe Ralphie tunes. Do you think Ralphie tunes in?
No.
Me neither. We're kind of goofy. We bring a little bit of goof and like the everyman to the
There's
show.
his happy hour over there.
True. So, but yeah,
Now,
that's
if
what
you
we
do look at
bring in.
YouTube, though, we do have some other people that are watching. Are the Scotch 4 Dummies?
Yes.
They're watching us.
Scotch group. Thanks, guys.
Mark's Whiskey Whistle is tuning in.
Korea,
Lloyd Fink from Bubba and the Beard.
right? That's in, I forget the name of his town. I always want to say Pittsburgh. but it's
Emporium.
not. Yes, thank you.
Emporium, Pennsylvania.
Yes, Pennsylvania.
Who else has been tuning in? Adventures in Whiskey. Bobby Childs is watching.
Bobby.
Food Quig, of course, is with us.
Quig.
Jason Whiskey Wise is here.
Food Quig's with
all
us.
the way from. He's in. Is he England?
You know, I don't recall.
He is.
We've got a
is it
worldwide.
Manchester?
We've got a worldwide
Is he in
audience,
Manchester?
which is nice. So are they doing the hat?
Whiskey Jason is watching from Germany.
Sweet.
So a few other. We've really kind of.
I had a German girlfriend that taught me to count to 10 in German once. Just throwing that
Funkful's
out
my
there.
favorite number.
Really?
Funkful.
Trying to get you to last that long.
Oh, that's so mean.
I just count to 10.
9, 5, dry, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I missed a number in there. Yeah,
London.
there you go.
Jason Whiskey Wise is in London.
Oh,
What was I going to say? I forget. I had something
Well,
else I was
you-
going to bring up and address.
Before you gutted me.
Yeah. You just count to 10.
Yeah,
Count to 10.
please count to 10 at least in German. Get your mind off of whatever. Yeah, wow, brutal.
This is pretty good. It's surprising me, and I'm not picking up whatever the finish is on it, and I haven't looked to see if it says it.
It doesn't.
You know?
doesn't.
It doesn't say just
No,
finish.
yep,
$48 is probably top end for it, I think.
sure. Well, it's a nice
not bad.
experiment,
It's not-
though. Nice experiment.
Uh-huh.
I think if you dig Irish, this is a little something different from Ireland because you're right. It's got a little bit more of a mouthfeel to it as well. I think it's that virgin oak coming through on the finish. So, because to me, that's imparting a little bit more, like you were saying, when I have the triple distilled Irish that I'm thinking of, usually it's a much lighter dram, some floral notes. And this feels, I mean, with the combination, I definitely get a lot more of those creamy vanillas and things that are in here.
How long have you been in the whiskey business, Dave?
Since high school?
There you go. Look at that.
1998.
That's when you got the liquor store?
Yes.
So is that your one location? You've been at that location?
Right.
Wow. And you got in there early, kind of before the big boom in that area too, wasn't it? Or was that when it was booming?
Well, Andover has had 2 stores since 1990 and not one more.
Gotcha.
We don't need one more, but if someone comes to town, welcome. In the meantime, it's been fun.
Yeah, because that area's just been exploding with population and great place to be. So
You've got more per capita per mile per square inch here
Right.
on the west side of town.
Here's a good question for you from Claire the Third.
Claire the Third.
How
love
many
Claire.
pappies or the Buffalo Trace antique collections do you get each year?
Of the antique collection, if you're talking about the Weller's 107,
Well, no.
the antique collection, I don't get any.
You don't?
I don't get any anymore. When they thought I was a big store and up and coming, they used to send me 1 or 2, but that was in 2000, 2004.
Wow.
I was graced with a whole set of 4 one year, but the allocations became tighter and tighter, and other stores come along.
Yeah. Now I will say that you are a smaller liquor store. You're not necessarily a big.
You're not a warehouse.
You're not a warehouse type liquor
So
store.
how does that, so is a lot of it just personal connections that you make, or do they have to go by volume of sales? What do
They
they
usually
do?
go by volume of sales, and if you order Buffalo Trace by the case, they're going to get you those special allocations. I kind of missed out on that part of the story, and I wasn't buying it by the case, just by the single bottle, and
Okay.
hence I have to catch up now and try and get some allocations.
Now, see, that is interesting.
Now, how about Van Winkles? Do you see any Van Winkle?
Accidentally, I saw one in 2002, and I sold it to my banker under the condition that I had a sip.
There you go.
So 15 years ago, 2002, and you remember?
I remember that one, and it was before it was popular.
Yeah. Wow.
And then since then, I found a Van Winkle 10
Okay,
and sold it to a gentleman on Valentine's Day.
perfect. So a lot of the allocation has to do with how much volume you are buying.
Yes.
And then that's how they're going to say, well, then you're going to get some of this or some of that.
Yes.
Now, I know like some of our friends from Canada, they actually do lotteries on some of these hard to get
Yeah.
bottles, and people line up and camp out. You don't do lotteries or anything.
No, I'm
Right.
sure there's a way around the law here to do it legally, but I haven't entered into that.
Got
I
it.
know some states you can win a ticket to go in and buy a bottle at a certain price.
Right. Now,
Now, actually, let me point out, Dave has been my connection though for Compass Box,
true.
Interesting company.
Yeah, he has a heck of a collection of compass
which
boxes.
you actually have to. I mean, around here, you actually almost have to request it. And, I mean, I've seen it in a couple of stores, in special editions that come out, but you really kind of have to inquire yourself and say, "Hey, I want this."
These guys call me before I know it's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be like, "There's a compass box circus. You got to get the circus." He's like, "All I heard was circus. What are you talking about?" Yeah. So yeah, Compass Box with the peat monster is what even introduces me into the peat. I was a little bit still like the peat was too strong. I wasn't puzzling out the flavors. He calls me and says, "You got to come over and try this peat monster." We were still rookie Scotch whiskey guys, and I'm looking at it going, "This is so pale. It's peat monster. It's got this goofy label." Now I love their labels. And he goes, basically, this happens a lot. He says, "Shut up and try it." And I'm like, well, that's good advice. So whenever anybody's got some advice, just say, "Shut up and try it." Because I tried it, and I was like, oh, my God. Well, I said, OMG.
Yeah.
I like to do it like I'm tweeting it or texting it. And then I was like, woo. And from then on, I had to search out other different Isla or peated.
Well, and I
drinks.
wasn't even necessarily into peated at that time.
Oh,
either.
no, you weren't.
But Whiskey Advocate had a review out on the Peat Monster.
Right.
It's a $50, $60
Yes.
bottle, and they gave it a really high score.
Right.
And I had seen it, and I was out, and I was like, well, there's that Peat Monster. They give a really good score to
Thank
it.
you.
I'm going to pick it up and
I'm
try
glad
it.
you got it.
And you were discounting it at first because it's a really pale
I was,
color.
yeah, I
There's
was
no
totally
color
judging
added.
by the label and the bottle
It had
color.
this, the label
Yeah.
because it had
No
this
color
monster,
added,
The
yeah.
Peat Monster is drawn on there. You
Yeah.
thought they were like trying to advertise to
to
kids.
college students that were 21.
Yeah.
I was like, are we trying to get, like, they were trying to get millennials, like legal millennials.
You
to
know, and
purchase.
really the only other time I can think of one other time you were really surprised by a bottle because you kind of already put it off by the labeling.
Right.
Is the Glenlivet Nadura peated cask.
Yes, blew me away.
Yeah.
And that's because some of the other Glenlivet Naduras I wasn't a big fan of. And I thought, they did that weird peat finish. They took and put it in a barrel that it had a peat barrel, not, and I was like, come on, they're just trying to get a peat name on there. And I was like, oh my. Yeah, it was good. That Nadura peat finish, that was good. Now, I will say at your place, I found a gem. And then we went to go back later, and they were all gone. The Brook Lottie 3D3 was there. And you'd had 2 of them. And I bought one saying, let me see what they're like. and it had been there for quite some time, and I tried it, and it was like the foretaste of a Brook-Lottie Port Charlotte. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And he went back and it was gone. I mean, he'd sold, I think.
I think I got those at the end of the run.
Yeah,
They were being cleared out.
sure.
You bought what was available, and they stayed on my shelf for years.
Yeah.
And then then you discovered them.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
Then
Then
the
it's in the
Dummies
bottle.
came in.
Yeah. The Dummies came in like, oh my God.
You don't know what it tastes like
Right. Yeah,
unless
that,
you're watching a video. Like
that cork actually even broke. It had been in there so long when I was pulling the cork off, it broke. And the Twitter fans saved me. And they were like, do this, get this. And several fans said, just get a wine corkscrew, going real gentle, get it grabbed, pull it out. And it worked. And then they said, go grab one of your Port Charlotte empty bottles if you got one and use that cork.
Let's do hey, let's sign.
What time are we in? We're at 126.
Let's sign
We're going to
this.
sign the
What
tag.
color? Black
So,
or silver?
Silver for sure. Silver for sure on this. It's going to make it pop. Dave's going to sign this as well. So we're going to put our stuff on there. While he's doing that, I want to plug, we're getting ready. We've been in the process of filming our big blind bourbon shootout. It's like our rye, our 16-bottle rye, but it is our Sweet 16 bourbons. So if you can see that, let me look on the camera. That's our little poster for it. So this is going to be coming out. Do you remember which day? It's
I
like
think next Saturday. The
next
first
Saturday.
Bracket 1 airs next Saturday.
Bracket 1. So we're going to be releasing that very soon. We're doing those double blind. Scott's poured it into a sample bottle from the bottle, labels them 1 through 16, hands those labeled bottles to me. I don't know what they are, and I label them with an A through whatever. What is it?
I
N?
don't know
Whatever
it would be. Yeah.
16 letters down would be. So what'd you do? Oh, you did. Got it. You got number 2 on there.
Just for episode 2 of the 12 Hours of Boom.
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 I'm adding in my number. Woo.
So let's go.
Man.
I've got a trivia question in mind.
Really?
So the first person that comments and answers correctly
Get your
will get
fingers ready.
the wooden tap
That's right. How many viewers do we have?
signed
on
by
that?
all 3 of us. 85 people are watching right now.
85. We're trying to break 100. Come on, tell your mama to come
So
join us.
the first person to comment wins.
Yes.
The Sons of Erin is imported from Irish to what city where it's finished?
Good question.
You
Do
said
you remember?
that? No. Even I couldn't win.
It's not Andover.
Yes,
You
I
don't
could.
remember?
No, I
We're
wasn't.
sitting here talking. You don't
I
remember.
was focused on me. I was encroaching at the time, making a joke.
Kansas City was Telex won again.
Telex
Telex
again.
21-12.
That is
Kansas
not
City,
fair.
Missouri.
Telex is 1-2.
No, it
in a row.
isn't because Telex is paying attention.
He's paying attention. I didn't even remember. I would have said KCK, and no, I'm close.
Jimmy Drammer, Ryan Burnett, Box of
Oh.
Qualities, everybody's close.
Well, Telex has a fast connection. Wow. Well, that saves us on shipping.
Claire says it's rigged. It's not rigged.
Rigged. Telex is probably, where's Telex from? He's probably in like Australia.
Lana Lou says you're too smart, Telex.
Wow. That was awesome. Now, not all of these are going to be like that.
That was pretty easy, but I thought that was a good one to throw in here since we were talking about
That was
the
good.
Sons
That
of
was
Erin.
good. Sons of
Now,
Erin. Sons of Erin.
What do you got sitting over there you were going to show?
That's
Some
right.
people have commented for a special edition T-shirt we got
Right.
for today. It's only going to be available for a short time.
Short time. Look at that.
We don't know how long. Maybe a couple of weeks. Maybe
Maybe
through
a
the end of
week.
July.
No,
we don't
maybe
know.
a
We'll
week.
decide.
I'm saying a week. You got to buy it now.
Yeah, it's really just going to be a limited run. We're going to put them on later.
This is new.
You can go to scotchtestdummies.com to our T-shirt shop and
I
check them out.
survived. And you can change the color of the shirt.
and
You
I
can
think
do
there's
green,
a-
blue,
There's
red.
a promo going right now too by
Really?
the website. It's like 15% or 20% off, I believe.
But this is
They'll have a
limited.
special code.
So you guys that are tuning in, you want to get an I Survived the 12 Hours of Boom t-shirt. We'll be wearing these later. So very cool, very cool. Where we
No,
at
wait,
now?
we also, so
1:30. We got 15
Coin
more minutes.
324 will go to our Patreon supporters.
Right.
You want to
right.
pull the number for this one,
Yes.
and we'll sign it as well.
Now, are we doing a deal where who won? Number 3 last time won. We're saying
Yeah.
number 3 can't win again.
Yeah, if you draw number
Should you
3,
track that?
yeah, well, we'll remember.
All right, so hold on here. Siri, do a random number from 1 to 24.
Don't write over the number on there.
The answer is 15.
15. 15.
Coin 324
So-
is going to
To whoever
Patreon supporter
Patreon
number
backer
15.
number 15 is. So our Patreon supporters have a much greater chance of winning. So come on and be a Patreon supporter right now. We need to check that, because if we're getting live Patreon supporters,
That's true. We could have that pulled
we
up.
could,
and then,
yes, we could
let
end
them know
up with
who it is.
That's right. Well, and we might be upping. Again, you can support for $1 a month, $1 a show. Some do more than that. So that support helps us do everything from some technical stuff with like the camera we're using right now, which is a 1080p camera. Oh, watch out. It's on the floor. It's helped us buy some bottles for the 16 bottle shootout.
We did we had teased a couple times we're going to buy a new camcorder to keep at your house.
That's right.
We had one supporter came on and donated $100 for us towards that.
Directly on PayPal.
Greatly appreciated.
So you can do that on PayPal, but you can also be a patron.
If you want to help us with that, we are getting ready to order it. You can go. You can donate scotchtestdummies@gmail.com.
Now, Dave, there's a funny story on this. So he tells me, hey, we're starting to get some donations for the new camera. We need to get a new camera. Mine's only a 780p. He's got another one that he uses that I'm not even technical enough to figure out how it works.
720.
Oh, what did I say?
780.
Well, it's like a chiefism. I apologize. That's an inside joke. So 720p. You're right, because then it goes up. All right. So I send him a picture of a camera I've been looking at. He says, well, that one looks small enough to fit in your satchel. He goes,
I said you can fit that in. I go, that's a great camera if you want to put it in your purse. And
all right. He said purse.
Soccer game.
Yeah, he said purse. I'm calling it a European carry-all.
You need to scoot over. Look at you've
Am I
already
encroaching again?
Yeah.
I encroached on Dave.
Dave's trying to
Hold
lean
on,
over
I'm
so
way
he
over
can
here.
still fit in.
Let me come up closer like this. Sorry, I'm encroaching. I'm an encroacher. So right off the bat, the camera I was looking at, he says, wow, that looks like a tiny camera you could fit in your purse and take to the soccer game. I'm like, well, what are you looking at? And then you picked like a more expensive, like professional camera.
Yeah.
It looks good. It even does 4K.
No, it's just 1080p.
Oh, it's just 1080, 1020.
I don't think we're even ready.
1020p.
If we went with 4K, you're going to need a new computer to process to really process and edit the files.
Don't do that.
Yeah, so that's down the road.
So do 1020p.
Yep, 1020.
Oh, you guys are with it.
Right. See, Dave's like, wow, and these guys barely know what they're
We are.
talking about.
Amy's husband asked if there's handwritten notes are going on with the coins. Oh, we could. Yeah, we'll do that as well.
Sure.
Those that win it.
Thanks for being a part of the 12 hours of boom.
We're signing the coin now. Later today, we may give away a glass. We'll sign it as well.
Maybe.
The coins we're initialing. Those are going out just from the show.
There'll be some random things.
Random things are going to be given away. So those that are tuning in, it may be like a Twitter deal as well. Like the first person to tweet something out is going to win.
We're going to try to move across social media.
Yeah. So just to broaden it out a little bit and give everybody a chance.
Well, otherwise, who's our double winner again?
Telex.
Yeah, Telex will have like, I won 15 times. And they're like, there's only 12 hours of boom. Whatever. I'm also a Patreon supporter. I'm like, wow, Telex cleaned up. So very cool. Where are we at? We got to watch the time. We're at 1:33.
We got about 10 minutes left, 12 minutes left. Yep, we're doing good.
So what else? Let me ask. You go do our first live. What? You got something?
No, go ahead.
All right. So do you even remember that tasting? I mean, is it just like I did 100 tastings that year? I don't even remember.
No, you guys were the biggest and the best.
Okay,
well,
cool.
You had
the first one was at a house in Derby.
True.
One of our buddies had the one there. I
And
think the second one was here.
And there was nothing out back. Remember when it was a sand pit?
Yep. Well, no. That's always been there. We've added the pool.
Yes, we added
was
this.
Yeah, it was just open.
Put in. Well, where else were we?
And
the third one was at Darren's.
Down by the casino.
That's right.
And every time they did something different. The first time they did basic region scotches. The second time it was cask finish scotches.
That was right.
And the third time it was Canadian whiskeys.
Right.
And we
ran
through whiskeys and rye. And we
did
ran through
ryes.
several. Yeah. And the favorite of the Canadian that night was Caribou. If you ever see that on a shelf, pick that up. It's worth $60.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Right. Because we
Caribou
reviewed
crossing.
it. We reviewed it. I found it kind of mild and not
we
bad.
matured.
Well,
I do remember the first,
and it was the favorite of that night.
Yeah, gotcha, from other, because we had a lot of folks there,
and that was the bottle that they bought at the end of the evening.
Right.
That's why.
That's right. We had about 15 people at that deal because I know the Balvenie Caribbean cask. I tried at one of those, but I think that was one that a buddy had. But you brought the double wood maybe because of the cask finish, right?
Right.
Right.
And we ran through the Glenmorangie series
Right.
of 3.
That's right. That's right. But that was
here. I remember that.
so it's a great way to do a tasting is if you have someone in your area, because quite honestly, when we were looking at doing a tasting, I didn't know where to start. And with you and the way you do your tastings, you got first a wide range of the different regions, and then it was a wide range of the multiple caskings.
Yes.
And then we ventured out into some different types of whiskeys. So it was just a great way for us to kind of intro in. So
Well, and I encourage people to do that. Try the different.
yeah,
There's so many different styles.
at a
of
much
whiskey.
lower cost because you get your buddies together. We had some barbecue.
Yeah.
You know, when
Yeah,
else
well-
can you try 8 different bottles?
How many other bars can you go to and try 20 of a certain kind and focus and talk to each other?
Yeah, well, my nephew was in town last weekend, and he wanted to try some different ones. I started him from
Isn't he like 12?
young bourbons to
Is he
old
12?
bourbons. We went through ryes.
He's
We
24.
We did sherry finishes. We did peated whiskeys, Irish whiskey. We looked at quite a few, so he got quite a range. And he's 29. I was trying to
He's
talk.
29.
You were trying to
Sorry,
interrupt me.
I've made him angry. So that's right.
I know.
I
I feel
think
like
he
I
likes-
usually have this happen. Like my nephew was in town. He's 29.
I know when you
So
say nephew,
because
it
you
just
think,
sounds
well,
young.
young child running
Like you were
around.
giving a 7-year-old whiskey. You have a toothache, Junior? Rub a little bit of this on your gums. Right? That's what Grandma used to do. Right. That's why I was making the joke, and I'm sorry I was stepping on you as you were explaining that. That never happens. Although he does love coming to your house.
Yeah.
I think your house
It's
is like
like
an
a-
experience.
A retreat.
It is. I call it Casa de Bruno. He's got like, I'm coming to Casa de Bruno. Work up the bar. When you come over to Casa de Bruno, you never know what you're going to get. You might get a spicy Bloody Mary. I've had one of those over here.
No.
Oh, he kills it. It's like on fire.
Daniel Brown points out that Scott just plows through bar shenanigans. I just got to keep going.
22 years of experience. Yeah, I'll start rambling, and he's able to wall it off and just drive on.
Now, I had a question for Dave. And all these different whiskeys, and we just brought up a lot of them, Canadians, rye, sherry whiskey, scotches, peated whiskeys. What is your favorite? Where do you find yourself focused on, or kind of your go-to, not necessarily a brand, but just, would you say bourbon?
I think of you
rye?
as bourbon. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I am bourbon.
Okay,
It's
that's what I
just solid that way. And I'll go to Canadian, but I really have enjoyed some of the local distilleries. Some of their product is not good, and some is good, but some is young, and
I was
some is
encroaching.
actual tasting.
I was encroaching, and I even noticed on camera, so I purposely
But Weller's is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Oh, you like
well,
Weller's? There you go.
well,
Look at
not
this.
just Weller's 12,
Every day, but I
special
have-
reserve.
I'm
What
closer
Weller's
to the
special
camera.
reserve?
I have given up Weller's so that my customers can have more. It's being
Oh,
allocated again.
there's
Wow.
a
I can't find
sacrifice.
it.
Let's
And-
get-
Rumor had it, I'll put this out there, but I think it's funny about corporate America. Sazerac owns the company.
Okay.
They're in Canada. The executive one day was saying, what are all these stores of Weller's? What are all these stores of Code X doing down there? Let's put it into Fireball. We're running out of Fireball. It's too popular. Nobody buys Hot Damn anymore. They put Weller's into Fireball now?
What? Why?
I'm just saying, that's what a salesman said.
Can't be true.
Really?
You don't gossip on this site, do you?
Yes,
Okay.
you can gossip all you want.
Yeah.
Well, we're dummies.
Yeah,
we don't
that's
know
all-
anything.
We've always got that.
Yeah,
We've
we
always got that
don't
disclaimer.
know anything. So
Yeah.
first of all, anything we say, don't even believe
So
what
they're
we
making,
say.
if they're making Weller's tight, it's their own fault.
Yeah.
Now, I do. As soon as you said that, I know because you were going to bring Bell Mead bourbon,
Mm,
It's
which you
mine.
said is your favorite.
It's mine.
But we
Oh.
had reviewed it, so you said, "Well, I'll
We
bring
did.
something you haven't reviewed."
that is
But yeah,
good.
I bought a bottle of the Bell Mead from you.
Right.
I think it's the 9-year.
Yeah.
Bell Mead is good.
Yeah, we tasted it very
Solid.
good. I think Cousin Shane was there for that.
I think
one
he
as
did
well.
try that one. He's a crooner.
Now we haven't talked
Singing.
about it yet. Have
Singing.
you tried Elijah Craig Barrel Proof?
No.
I'll get you a
Ooh,
sample
bottle
as soon
of
as
Wow.
this one is.
Yeah,
That's
it's a bottle of Wow. You got to try that.
absolutely one of the best bourbons that you
Phenomenal.
can still find around. About ready to. It is a unicorn in some parts. Just about there.
Oh,
Wow.
What?
speaking of that, I need
Oh,
to get you
you
back
owe me
for
some
that
money.
bottle, Grumpy
Yeah,
Dummy
yeah,
style.
dude.
I got to get you back for that bottle that you got me. He will find bottles and I will buy them, I have to pay him back.
We've had 2 new Patreon supporters.
Woo! They want in, baby.
They want in. So
higher chance of winning.
During our break, we're going to have to confirm. We should have to be at 26
we will confirm
supporters then now. And you'll be included in the
That's right. We'll do the 26. By then it might be the 27. Hello. Coffee's done.
We will. John Cabrera is asking what number he is. So we'll have to look, John.
Yeah, we'll have to look those up. That might
and
take
we may not
time.
have time to do it.
That's true.
Patreon does show us a list in order that you joined.
It shows the date that you joined, so these numbers will be done by as people join. Because that's fixed and it does not change.
We may not have time to do that today with the 15-minute breaks.
Yeah,
we will do that at a later time. Yep. Just off the top of my head, though, John, you should be 25 or 26.
No idea,
Maybe
John,
27. We might be at 27.
You could be 12. So, but do start joining the Patreon and pop on in because it's going to up your chance to win trinkets and baubles and shiny things.
Yep.
That we sign. That it increases value when we sign it. No, not really.
What's Cousin Shane's on, because he'll be famous someday.
Cousin Shane, his band's going to go huge, and they're going to be like, I got a Scotch Test Dummy coin that Cousin Shane's.
That'll be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be like, did Scott and Bart sign it?
Yeah, we don't care. Whoever that is. Can't even read it, but Cousin Shane.
Yeah. Cousin Shane, it'll be like, wow, you got a Cousin Shane.
Wow, that's before he was famous. Right, we'll be like on his coat heels at that point in time. We are at 1:42. We got 3 minutes left. Anything else from Dave?
Well, Jeff Pickering is asking real quick. I think it was number 15 on the Patreon, wasn't it?
What? No.
Last one? Yes, number 15 on the Patreon.
Number 3 and number 15. So Dave.
I sent a customer on a search.
Oh.
He's one of those well-traveled bourbon finders.
I love that.
And on Thanksgiving Eve, he called me and asked me if I wanted my favorite one. He found one. And he gave me the price for it. I know there's another market for that kind of product, but I couldn't afford it.
What is it?
So if any of you can find me, E.H. Taylor's Tornado Surviving Warehouse.
Oh, yeah.
For under
$1,000.
I'm embarrassed. I don't have that much money.
Yeah.
No, I'm just shaking my head no because
don't do it.
Yeah, that says $1,000 a bottle.
Is it? Oh, yeah, he quoted me $1,300.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
I know. Is that crazy?
Wow.
And I know you're going to say you can find it for under $300.
You could get a lot of Wellers for $1,300. Just because the tornado hit it. You stay around long enough, tornado's going to hit something.
In reference to that, though, I had a chance to buy Van Winkle 12 year this year for $169, and I turned it down. Because
that's not even the...
I know on the secondary market it's going for more.
Yeah, but that's not even from their actual old warehouse.
No, right.
Which is the
but it's a 12-year bourbon, and we've had it. It is good, but it's not. Come on, guys.
But that's the whole fun thing about searching this out. Go to your small little liquor store in the corner. Doesn't know what he had.
Yeah,
that's what Whiskey Scout does.
Find me that E.H. Taylor Tornado Surviving Warehouse.
If Whiskey Scout's watching, he might find that for you. So
it's a good one.
That is cool. Well, do us a favor. Give us the name of your store and where they can find you again.
If you're ever on vacation around Wichita, come to Andover. It's 5 miles east of the best store in town, which is Mr. Groves' store. and we're in Andover. I've got a selection, and we've got a dog there. We've got
there's a dog in the store. You gotta love the dog.
Now, that is funny you do mention Groves. That's almost like us. We talk to and we include a lot of other whiskey reviewers, in our stuff. We've interviewed them online and stuff. And you're promoting Groves Liquor Store. A bigger.
He's good too.
Yeah, we've shopped at Groves.
But a lot of people come into Wichita due to the air capital. Their Spirit here used to be Boeing, but a lot of people have to fly in even to do their certifications. Harrison Ford's here all the time. Who's the guy from Pulp Fiction? Travolta. He's been in. I've never seen either one of them, but maybe they'll come by. Maybe they're fans of the show.
We're about 2 miles north of Flint Hills National Golf Course, so if you come out for that junior tournament this summer, stop in.
Perfect. All right. Are you ready?
He's answering a couple of questions here. You guys are talking. I was going to address them.
All right. It's time to shut her down. But we're going to wait until you're ready. We can do that. Hold on, I was encroaching again. Let me come back. We don't want. I can come. Look at this. I can come way up here,
Yep.
or I can slide back and encroach on Dave. Come around like this. I'm always moving, Dave. You never know when someone's going to take a shot. Take a shot. Are we ready?
Now wait, real quick though. Sons of Erin, 46%. I like it now. It's finished. It's aired a little bit. It's coming in real good. I'd buy it.
Sláinte.
Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
Sláinte.
Dummies. Woohoo. Kill it.
See you in 15 minutes.
Killing it. 15